Hey there, it's me again. This time I'm just going to use a slide to show the difference between photosynthesis and cellular respiration. You don't have to look at my mug this time. But I just wanted to talk to you about the differences between these two very important processes. Um, First, let's look at the equation. So it's so interesting. I think when I first heard or saw this equation put on the blackboard when I was a kid, probably in 10th grade, I thought that that's not possible. This is too amazing. This is crazy. And I think that's where my love affair with biology began when I saw these two equations on the board, Mr. Howard's blackboard. So if you look at photosynthesis, you know that plants require carbon dioxide and they require water. We all know that plants require water. You have to water them, otherwise they wilt. Carbon dioxide is what they breathe in, if you will, and they need energy, and that energy comes in the form of sunlight. Okay, so that energy is taken into the organism. And what we get out of this process is this beautiful glucose molecule, this nice monosaccharide, this nice carbohydrate. And remember that carbohydrate, how do we get it out? You might wonder, how do we get that from plants? We get it in when we eat, if you think of a plant that has built up a ton of sugars all summer long and is storing it during the summertime, we get it in the form of tomatoes. We get it in the form of potatoes and carrots and anything that has stored sugars, which often are found in the form of starch. We also get it in the leaves of plants also. So those sugars are stored there. And plants also give off oxygen, which is awesome. It's fantastic because that allows us to survive. So the plants do this process in this order, in this direction, right, from reactants to products. And then what's I always found so amazing is that cellular respiration is sort of the reverse of photosynthesis. If you look, we all need, and when I say we all, let's not forget that when I say we all, I mean everyone. I don't mean just us animals. I mean plants, animals, fungus, little amoebas and paramecium, and bacteria. All organisms need to do some kind of cellular respiration. And in order to do cellular respiration, you need to take in some kind of organic molecule, like glucose, which is, probably the most common precursor or monosaccharide taken in to do cellular respiration. We also need to breathe, right? So we eat, we breathe, and with the help of enzymes, just like up here, there's enzymes needed here too. Both of these are biochemical reactions, so enzymes are always required. Once these two products are processed in the mitochondria of any eukaryotic organism, the byproducts of that is CO2, right? We breathe out carbon dioxide, just breathe out. There's your CO2. And water. And we breathe out water too. We sweat it out also. You know that you breathe out water because if you breathe on a window, you can see the condensation. And as a product, we also make this vital, vital, vital energy called ATP. So this is very, very important. Hopefully you can see that the products of cellular respiration are the reactants of photosynthesis. And the products of photosynthesis are the reactants of cellular respiration. I find that so fascinating. It's like the little circle of life. I could be singing some show tune right now. All right, so I'm going to change slides. Let's see if this works. Okay, so here's another slide. With this slide, what I want you guys to see is some of the nitty gritty of it all. We can see that photosynthesis happens in chloroplasts. That is true of all eukaryotic organisms that have chlorophyll and chloroplasts. But don't forget, there are bacteria that actually do photosynthesis, but they don't have chloroplasts, right? Prokaryotes don't have membrane-bound organelles. So that process happens in the chlorophyll of these organisms on the membrane space, just not necessarily in the chloroplasts. So, and then respiration happens in the mitochondria. I'm going to say it again because I know I've said it a lot of times so far. I'm going to say it one more time. All organisms have to do some kind of cellular respiration. So remember, plants have both of these. Plants have chloroplasts and mitochondria. They do both. Cellular respiration is not just for animals. Photosynthesis is just for organisms that have chlorophyll, right? But everybody has to do some form of respiration. When does this happen? respiration happens all day long, every day, while you're sleeping, while you're awake. Photosynthesis obviously can only happen during the day or in the presence of light. It could be artificial light, doesn't matter. We went through these just a second ago in the last slide. What do you need to put in? What do you get out? You can see how they're the reverse of each other. Plants get their energy from the light, and all organisms that do cellular respiration get their energy from the chemical bonds that are found stored in the in molecules like glucose. Glucose has a lot of bonds, and all that energy is stored in those bonds. And then what do we get out? Photosynthesis stores energy in the bonds of glucose, while cellular respiration releases the energy from that glucose into the bonds of ATP, which we use every day. All right. Next video coming soon.